next story is called This is a Rope. If you don't have a YouTube account, you can go ahead and just message me and let me know on Blooms or by email which of these two stories you like best. This is The Rope, a story from the Great Migration. This is the rope. This is the rope my grandmother found beneath an old tree a long time ago back in South Carolina. This is the rope my grandmother skipped under the shade of a sweet-smelling pine. This is the rope my grandfather used to tie a few things they owned to the top of the car that drove my grandmother, who was a mother now, from South Carolina all the long way to a place called New York City. This is the rope my grandmother held tight to as my grandfather drove real slow past the people in the big city buildings that seemed to go on and on. This is the rope my grandmother used to dry the sweet-smelling flowers she grew in small window boxes, reminding her of the flowers from back home, where the land, she said, went on and on. This is the rope my grandfather strung so my mama's diapers could blow dry in the hot city breeze. And this is the rope my mama tied around a small ducky's neck and then pulled along singing quack, quack, quack. This is the rope my mama held out to the girls on the block in her new Brooklyn block, a home of their own that they finally owned. Mama asked shyly, "Anybody want to play?" This is the rope my mama first tripped on as she sang, "Miss Lucy had a baby, she named him Tiny Tim." This is the rope Mama's brothers took from her room for some crazy game that little boys like to play. This is the rope my mama found again 10 years later when my grandfather said, "We need a better rope to tie these things down inside this car here, like that rope we used to have from back home." Then he drove with my mama off to college far away from the city, while up at the window my grandmother waved. This is the rope Mama placed on the piano around our family photos, and me just a baby, and then a bit bigger, already reaching for it. This is the rope my daddy used when he showed me the way to tie a sailor's knot. 2 times around, pull it real tight. You want whatever you make or do in your life, my daddy said, to last. This is the rope my mama turned as she waved goodbye to my daddy and taught me to sing the Miss Lucy song out on our sidewalk right here in Brooklyn just last Friday night. And this is the rope that held up the sign saying, "We are all family," at our picnic reunion in the big park up the street from our home. This is the rope, threadbare and graying, that I traded with Grandma for a brand new one. Then I jumped a new jump. B. My name is Beatrice. I come from Brooklyn. As my family smiled proudly, and the sun began setting as Grandma held onto her rope from back home. And her long ago memory of sweet smelling pine.